We're going to stay with the community again. Now, what would happen if we could multiply, exponentially increase our community well-being by working together? We invite Jonathan Mast to the stage to find out how we are better together. Jonathan leads Sedgwick's social media and digital strategy, and he and his team have launched industry-recognized blogs. He's been a leader in using video content and sharing and using the emerging channels for messaging and able to lift Sedgwick's brand. Jonathan's an avid Twitter user. I follow Jonathan. I see firsthand the causes that he is passionate about and the way in which he uses his skills in digital media to raise and elevate the work of those charities. Jonathan has a master's degree in organizational communication from the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville and a Bachelor of Arts in speech communication from the University of Arkansas. We're better together, as told by Jonathan Mast.
It can be difficult to convey to others what we all do in this room, which is really getting people back to living. Let me share my story, and I think that you can see how we are better together, elevating the brand of our industry, just as David DiPaolo envisioned when he began the Comp Laude. 18 years ago, I was a 34-year-old male in pretty good health. Well, okay, I ate a few too many donuts, but pretty good health. But one day I noticed that I was exhibiting one of the 7 signs that the American Cancer Society says that indicates that you might have cancer. So I went to my doctor and he ordered that I have a colonoscopy, even though I didn't have family history. So I went in and I had my procedure on Friday. And on Monday, the doctor called me at the office and said, "Can you come in?" Well, I'm pretty sharp, and I deduced that that was not good news. So my wife and I went, and we sat across from the doctor, and he said, "Jonathan, I fell out of my chair this weekend. You do indeed have cancer." So on the Friday after I had my surgery, had returned home, and my wife's OBGYN called. We were expecting our first child. And he delivered the news that our yet unborn daughter was going to be born with Down syndrome. Now, I won't lie, it was a pretty dark weekend full of emotions. But by Tuesday, we had determined that we were going to meet this head on, and we were going to learn everything that we could about Down syndrome and make our daughter's life as good as it could be. So in the following weeks, as we begin to tell friends and colleagues, and I have a hard time getting through this part without getting emotional, Dave North, our president and CEO, sat me down and he said, "Jonathan, I don't know anything about Down syndrome, but I want you to know that we're all in at Sedgwick. And if our health care plan doesn't take care of your daughter's needs, I want you to let me know and we'll see what we can do about it." 18 years now, Sedgwick has been the presenting sponsor for the Bunny Run 5K, which is a primary fundraiser for the Down syndrome group in Memphis. And in addition, Dave has opened our corporate doors to another organization where my daughter received early intervention services. And to this day, one of our executives still serves on that board. Today, Rachel, my daughter, is a senior in high school. She takes typical classes. She's on National Honor Roll. And she was in Julius Caesar last spring in our school play, the best straight-O ever. We're visiting colleges, just like other people do, and she's excited about her future and where she's going to go. But maybe the biggest thing is Rachel has already helped shape national legislation that's changed the lives for all people with disabilities. She's the only 18-year-old, or at the time 16-year-old I know, who received a call from 2 U.S. senators, and they asked to talk to her and not mom or dad. But we are better together because our community, my colleagues, and yes, this whole industry helps support us. But let's look at our industry. 2 years ago, right here in San Diego, we were here for RIMS, and my manager noticed the large homeless population. And she said, "What can we do to make this a better place and not just come here and have a party and leave?" So we called up Alpha Project, which is a long-standing organization here in San Diego, helping the homeless and empowering them to get their lives back and become dignified and find jobs and not live on the streets. So we called them up and we said, "Hey, we want to bring you $10,000. And they said, "Come on over." So we went over and we talked to them, and they said, "Well, you know, we're getting ready to open a pizza shop, And we want to train the people who are living in our apartment complex job skills so that they can get a job and return to, be productive members of society and not rely on handouts. And we said, bingo, that's it. So just this past summer, we had the opportunity to come back for the grand opening of the Alpha Pizzeria. And if you live here in San Diego, I encourage you to go and eat there, or Uber Eats delivers. And we bought food for everybody that came in that night. And it was a really fun celebration, but the best part was we had pizzas left over, and so we were able to take those over to the apartment complex, and we handed them out, and we had a great time. Now, will any of those people ever talk to one of us in this industry? Probably not. But you know what? Our community and those people know that we are better together. In the house today is Kids Chance. And if you don't know about Kids Chance, you need to know about Kids Chance. As an industry, we have come around this organization that provides scholarships to the children of those who are injured in the workers' compensation field or who have lost their lives. David DiPaolo was passionate about Kids Chance, and so was our friend Dwight Johnson, who's Souls for Souls I have on today, who we also lost, but his own family benefited from that with his child receiving a scholarship. And you know what? Those children, those kids are going to grow up and become doctors, lawyers, nurses, whatever it may be, and they're going to tell people, the workers' compensation industry helped me get to where I am today, and that's why we're better together as an industry. So I want to close with this last story. Nick Santilli, who's a former Comp Laude winner and also works for Sedgwick, won the Comp Laude Award because he received a letter from an injured worker that said, I am here today because of you. No one else cared about me. You were the only person that talked to me every week. I wanted to give up and I wanted to die. And if all of us could have somebody write a letter that said, because we cared, I'm here today making the world a better place, then I think that says that we are all better together. And I believe that we are that industry, and I believe that we will be that industry, and we will be better together. Thank you.